Today, for the first time in the battle arena, we got two countries going head to head. Wakanda versus Atlantis. Who comes out on top? Well, let's find out.
Eyes up. Stay sharp. Stay down. Final warning. I could do this all day.
Wakanda, or officially known as the Kingdom of Wakanda, is a small, landlocked, isolationist country that resides in the mountains and forests of Africa. Although it appears to be an obscure, poor, third world country with little to offer, Wakanda is ruled by the mighty Black Panther, and is the only known source of the metal vibranium, making it the most advanced country in the world, with technology that is at least several decades ahead of anywhere else on Earth. Wakanda is composed of 5 different tribes, or technically 6 tribes if you count the royal family as a distinct separate Panther tribe. The border tribe is tasked with protecting Wakanda's borders from foreign threats, making sure that no intruder is able to enter Wakanda uninvited. There are also the river tribe, mining tribe, and merchant tribe. Then there's the Jabari tribe. When the first Black Panther united Wakanda, the mountain tribe shunned the use of vibranium, worshipped the Panther goddess Bast, and removed themselves from the mainstream society. However, while initially staunch enemies of Black Panther, T'Challa was able to reconcile with M'Baku, and the Jabari tribe joined in with rallying against Killmonger and fighting against Thanos and his forces during the Battle of Wakanda. The country of Wakanda is also famous for its incredibly advanced technology, which is created by the Wakanda Design Group, the scientific division of Wakanda headed up by Princess Shuri. They have Kamoya beads, which are advanced devices made from vibranium and can serve multiple different purposes, from being a holographic projector, control various types of Wakandan tech, and can even be used for medical purposes too. Wakanda also has all sorts of incredibly powerful weapons, like the vibranium spears used by the Dora Milaje, which are strong enough to pierce through cars, and can also emit electric shocks and create energy barriers. Sonic spears are essentially handheld cannons with enough power to destroy tanks and war machines. Ring blades can cut through almost any material and absorb energy vibrations. The border tribe have personal force fields and trained rhinos, and Shuri's come up with so much more tech, like her gauntlets, Captain America's vibranium shields, Winter Soldier's bionic arm, and Black Panther's suit. The capital city of Wakanda is also surrounded by a giant energy shield that's powered enough to blow up a spaceship coming from re-entry literally upon contact. They also have Wakandan aircraft like the Dragonflyer, which were used in both the Battle of Mount Bashinga and the Battle of Wakanda. So that's what we got in one corner, the great country of Wakanda. But, entering the ring, straight out of the ocean, the nation of Atlantis. Atlantis is an underwater kingdom located somewhere deep in the Atlantic Ocean, being home to the ancient, isolated, and highly advanced Atlantean culture. Originally being a part of a larger Atlantean empire, the present-day Atlantis is now one of the 4 surviving kingdoms after the sinking of Atlantis. Heavily isolated from the surface, the only way into Atlantis is the Colossus glowing gate in front of an ancient bridge, guarded by customs and forced by a massive array of powerful hydro cannons. Atlanteans are generally similar to humans in appearance, but are obviously distinguishable by their ability to live under the water. They're also able to navigate the depths of the oceans, breathe freely under the water, and they're actually able to travel immense distances underwater faster than any naval vessel. They're superhumanly strong and durable, being able to withstand water pressure at least 20,000 feet below sea level. And some Atlanteans even have superpowers. Like some Atlanteans, able to telepathically communicate with marine life, and they even all appear to have some form of hydrokinesis, which is greater amplified when they join forces, like when Orm and his people generated numerous massive waves all across the world and caused horrific damage. However, only catch is only the high-born Atlanteans are still capable of breathing air, people like Arthur, Mera, and Orm. All other Atlanteans are forced to wear water-filled suits of armor in order to function on land, and if those suits are breached, they'll suffocate and die. This armor is typically worn by the men of war, and are highly advanced suits of technology. They increase the wearer's strength and durability, have built-in booster engines in the legs for increased jumping and maneuverability, energized Atlantean steel swords and plasma-enhanced power gauntlets, and are actually powerful enough to even knock out someone like Aquaman with a well-placed blow. The suits even have built-in radar in order to analyze any environment and know exactly where people are, even if they do not see them directly. The Atlantean steel sword is able to cut through almost anything that comes across, even being able to project a plasma charge, and the plasma rifle is able to convert water into energy, firing blasts powerful enough to send other Atlanteans firing backwards. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, this fight is kind of difficult because these two civilizations, while similar, are just so different in other ways. I mean, one is on land, the other is under the water. We literally can't even choose a neutral battleground, since one has advantage on land, the other has advantage in the water. So with that being said, there are a couple of ways that I want to look at this fight. First off, what would happen if Wakanda tried to invade Atlantis? Then reverse it. What would happen if Atlantis tried to invade Wakanda? Also, just for fun, we'll throw in the main heroes too, Black Panther and Aquaman. No Mera or people like that though, just T'Challa and Arthur. So what happens in the first round? Well, this one is almost just unfair for Wakanda. Like, almost just to a shocking degree. For starters, Wakanda's never shown they can function under the water. And while I'm positive Shuri could come up with some way to let them survive under the water, that'll take some time. And even if they can breathe and maneuver under the water, that's gonna pale in comparison to the Atlanteans being able to navigate and move faster than any naval vessel, as well as being superhumanly strong and durable. And even if Wakanda is able to repurpose, redesign all of their tech in order to be able to function under the water, that's still not going to be enough to take down Atlantis. Yes, Wakanda might technically have more advanced technology, but Atlantis isn't really far behind, and it's specifically designed to function under the water. On top of that, Atlantis vastly outnumbers Wakanda's army. I mean, if you're including all the kingdoms after Arthur managed to unite them at the end of Aquaman, they could just outnumber them at least 100 to 1. Wakanda doesn't really have a large military force, they never needed to. But Atlantis is pretty much the exact opposite. So just run down the list. Wakanda is entering a foreign land that they're not suited to survive in. Atlanteans are physically superior in all regards, being stronger, faster, more durable, and are just suited to live under the water. Wakanda might be more technologically advanced, but Atlantis isn't too far behind, and they vastly outnumber the Wakandan army. And that's not all. Atlantis has also got some massively powerful ships and access to an entire army of sea creatures. So thousands of sharks, leviathans, orcas, sea monsters, and so many others just attacking them mercilessly. Then last but not least, Aquaman is in this fight. That's so insanely important. Because with Aquaman comes his trident, and the ability to control Keratin, a massive kaiju monster that pretty much no one can beat, that could possibly take down the entire Wakandan army all on her own. Under the water, Atlantis has got pretty much every advantage in the book. Physical advantage, weapons advantage, numbers advantage. They've also got a whole army of sea monsters on their side. It's a complete stomp for Atlantis if Wakanda tried to invade Atlantis under the water. No way around it. Now the second fight is actually the more interesting one here. What would happen if Atlantis tried to invade Wakanda? Well, even though Atlantis is coming out of their element and onto the land, that doesn't mean that they don't have any advantages in this fight. Starters, they're still bona fide superhumans above the water. The men of war in their land suits still have superhuman strength and durability, have plasma-enhanced power gauntlets, and actually just straight up powerful enough to knock out a metahuman with one well-placed blow. A metahuman like Aquaman. Speaking of Aquaman, he's easily the strongest and most durable person in this fight, by a really, really large margin. And he'll be one tough person to bring down. Yeah, vibranium tech will probably be able to injure him, just like Atlantean steel. But still, he's the most powerful person here. And just like Black Panther was basically taking on a whole tribe by himself, Aquaman could possibly do the same thing. However, while the Atlanteans do have a nice physical advantage, they've got some serious disadvantages as well. For starters, they're just out of their element here. Like during the Men of War's fight against Aquaman and Mera, the Men of War actually had to adjust during the fight to fighting on land as opposed to fighting in water. That's actually why one of them crashed through the roof of a building during the chase scene, because he was used to battling in water and didn't account for gravity pulling him through the roof. But probably more importantly, if their suit is ruptured or broken, they're out of the fight. They gotta go back under the water or else they're dead. Kinda difficult to fight if you're focused on not suffocating to death. Also, Mara was able to pierce through the suits with constructs made out of wine, so I am 1000% confident that vibranium will be able to pierce through those suits as well. Atlantis also no longer has clear numbers advantage, because a lot of their military is designed to function under the water, and we only saw the strongest of Atlanteans be able to breach the surface and go onto land. There's also a real question on if Atlantis will even be able to venture into Wakanda, thanks to that incredible force field. It pretty much instantly destroyed a spaceship coming in from re-entry right upon contact. Although the Outriders did make it through, they were mindless beasts, and were literally killing themselves to get through. Can't see the Atlanteans will resort to doing that. And then from there, the Wakandan army has tech and weapons that could put Atlanteans down, or at the very least, crack through and break their suits. They have an aerial advantage with the Dragonflyers, charging rhinos, and even personal force fields that can protect them from attacks. The Wakandans will also be fighting to defend Wakanda, and they take that very seriously. I mean, they were definitely outmatched, outnumbered by the Outriders and Thanos' army. But still, the Wakandans stood their ground and defended Wakanda. The Atlanteans will definitely be tough to take down, but I think the Wakandan army can defend and protect Wakanda here. Though definitely not as easily as the Atlanteans can defend Atlantis. So if both countries can repel their attackers and defend their nations, who ultimately wins here? That's obviously got to be Atlantis. For starters, they're just a more powerful force, just in general, and will definitely be able to defend Atlantis easier than Wakanda can defend their country. And if they decide to do something like follow Orm's plan and put it into fruition, Atlantis could quite literally flood most of the world, causing mass genocide and probably destroying Wakanda in the process. End of the day, Atlantis just got them severely outclassed here. Atlantis wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to hit that like button, the subscribe button, and turn on notifications to join the FanCo army. And I will see you next time.